Thank you. Good morning, fellow public servants. I'm so honored to be in your presence this morning. And first of all, to Wayne, and I know this is deeply emotional because you care so deeply about your members, and the loss of any even one diminishes the rest of us. So that's just a tribute to who you are. Showing emotion is a sign of strength, in my opinion. That means you're a true human being. And that's what we're going to do, is continue to bring true human beings to government and our leaders. And I want to thank you for all you've done for us, Wayne, and congratulations on your re-election. Obviously, these people have their faith in you, as do I. Locally here, I want to recognize someone who I'm very close to as well, the head of our Western New York Area Labor Federation, Peter DeJesus, and I want to thank him for everything he's done for us, leading Western New York through some challenging times as well. Michelle Silsby, our PEF Region 1 coordinator. Michelle, let's give it up for her. And Stephanie McLean-Bathley, I want to thank her for being here, supporting us, and Rabbi Ellen Franke for the invocation. So let's get started. Your leader mentioned that you don't usually see a governor coming to these events, but you've never before seen a governor who has worked her way up from local government, had the privilege to represent thousands of public sector workers over my time as a local government official, then as a county clerk, and I, more than anyone, have seen the kind of individuals who are drawn to this work. All of you, you're professionals. You could have gone anywhere. And the private sector might be dangling more perks and benefits and even more pay sometimes. Let's fix that. But there's something in the heart of a public servant that says, I want to do something for my fellow human beings. And that's why you're in these rooms, and that's why you're in all the places I've gone to. And I know how hard it is, because sometimes people on the outside are not exactly complimentary of our public sector workers. And I have stood up for them. Whether I walk into a DMV when I was county clerk and I said, these are good people. They're here to serve you. Treat them with respect. And I didn't see enough of that, and I'll always stand up for the workers of this state and our local governments, because you do deserve respect. You know, when I was county clerk, I used to go out there, and these people, they got so abused in the county clerk's office so many times. You go to a DMV, and you're just cranky to start, right? You don't really want to be there, and you're afraid of a long line. And I would tell my incredible team, I said, just remember, you are the face of government to these people. Oftentimes their only experience is negative. They think of government, they have to pay their taxes, or they have to come to a DMV. But how you treat them and treat each other in front of them can really signal a sea change in people's attitudes about all of you and your fellow workers. And I'm taking that experience to my position as your governor. We are changing the culture. And later on today, you'll see a letter that's coming out for me. I was just making the final edits as I was sitting in the car on the way over. I am committed to changing the workforce culture in state government. It will be one of respect. It will be one of trust. It will be one of respecting each other's diversity. It'll be a place that people want to work again, a sense of positivity, a sense of a can-do spirit, particularly now more than ever. We have the power to lift people up after this pandemic, and I will tell you, I'll go to my grave in awe of what I saw you do for the last 18, 19 months. I was out there at Aqueduct watching people with such a positive attitude, and where's the team of people who are at Aqueduct? Thank you. You are awesome. No one wants to be there getting their vaccination. It's stressful, but they almost made it a party atmosphere. These were your members, PEF, out there making people as they're giving vaccinations. I also went to Wadsworth. I walked the halls during the pandemic, and I could not get over first of all, the long hours that were being put in. People were tired, but they never showed it. They told me what they were doing for months and months and months and never got a pat on the back. And they were the ones who literally saved people's lives in our state. They didn't get the gratitude and respect they deserved. I have been all over the state, and it appalls me that there has not been that recognition, that simple thank you for what you did before and even during a pandemic. Well, that's changing right here and right now. It's changing with a whole new attitude of gratitude from me and my administration to all of you and your thousands of members in every walk of life. And also, think about people like our corrections officers, what they had to do during this pandemic. They couldn't phone it in. They couldn't work remotely. They showed up day after day in really stressful circumstances on a good day, but during a pandemic, you don't know that the person you're taking care of and watching and doing your shift with is going to give you a deadly virus that you'll then take home to your family. So many of you, and our nurses and all of our SUNY hospitals and all of our healthcare workers, you never knew what you were facing every day, but you still ran into that line of fire because you're bold, you're courageous, and you're part of the New York State workforce, and I am so proud of what you did. I am so proud of what you did. You are incredible. And shame on us if we don't respect it and acknowledge that every day of our lives. So I did a few things. Been governor less than 2 months, or maybe right about 2 months. I lost count. First of all, we lift the hiring freeze. I said, who thinks of a hiring freeze during a pandemic? Yeah. That's when we need our workers the most. We need you to show up. We need you to be there because the people of New York needed our services more than ever. We lifted the hiring freeze, and I know we have so much more to do to fill thousands of vacant positions and how we attract people who want to be part of this. I was inspired to go into public service as a child watching John F. Kennedy's speech, and I was really little, but I watched it later. Don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That, to me, is the foundation of public service. I want to know from you and Wayne and others what I can do to make the next generation to be sitting here in future years, how we inspire them to want to be the nurses and the engineers and the corrections officers and the people who did incredible things throughout this pandemic. I want them to be filling the halls and saying, I want to apply. I want to be part of this. This is an army of people who are doing good. We have to get more young people to want to go into these careers, or people not necessarily young, but who've been displaced from their other jobs that they thought would be there forever, but the pandemic took it away. We have to open those doors to more members. And how about just doing things like getting the civil service exams back up and running? I mean, how many times was I able to pick people, the top talented people, the top caliber of individuals who apply for these jobs? It was always tough because everybody who applied wanted to do good and they had incredible backgrounds. So let's open up those doors. Also very happy that we could structure a deal with PEF and CSEA to make sure that we paid our SUNY nurses what they deserved. Long overdue, long overdue. I'm just here to say, my friends, we're just getting warmed up. We are just getting warmed up. And at the end of my term, I'll say even this, end of my terms as your governor. At the end of my terms, I want everyone to say that we change people's attitudes about their government. They trusted their government, but I am not the government. You are the government. You are the government of the state of New York, and I thank you for being part of my family, the family of New York, and for all you've done in the past and will continue to do in the future. So, as I said, just getting warmed up, Wayne. Look forward to seeing you many, many times. We're going to do this together. And again, I am so proud to call you my colleagues, my partner in government. Thank you very much.